I guess you have to ask yourself, my friends, why is it? Why would a society decide to put fluoride in the water? They make claims that it's there for the purpose of helping those who can't afford fluoride, even though it's already in the toothpaste and it's already in the dental visits. So you're telling me that most can't afford toothpaste. It's ingested. So, my friends, this is what you need to ask yourself. It's a fucking simple question. Why, in God's name, would they put this into our water system? When there's a list a mile long showing the amounts of effects, and they've even openly stated in previous studies that it does not matter what level you put in. Over a period of time, they always, doesn't matter what the level is, they found it from other countries too, doesn't matter what the levels are they put into your water. It could be 0.1, 0.6, fucking doesn't matter. Eventually, it will become too toxic for your body, and you will get on this list of, huge list of side effects. If this is the case, then we're to throw away and discard all propaganda aspects, even though, yes, you can find it in the Prozacs and Zantacs and any kind of psychotropic drugs that is created today. I mean, oh my God, my friends, do a little bit of research, find out. Most people think that fluoride is just found in your toothpaste and your dental products or water. We're purchasing our toothpaste or we're drinking the water, and the ones that can afford the dentistry go there. But the fact is that most of the people are fucking unaware. They don't even realize that Prozac is a fluoride product, which is given to people for their depression. I mean, come on! Almost all psychotropic drugs that are put on the market today are of fluoride. Baycol, B-A-Y-C-O-L, Baycol, that was pulled off the market for muscle deterioration. Guess what, my friends? It was fluoride that was used. It was a product of fluoride. Cipro, that was going to be used for the anthrax vaccine that was being created. Guess what, my friends? Fucking fluoride. Fen-Phen, the diet pill that was pulled off the market. Guess what? The fluoride in it was what caused the thickening of their arteries. And my friends, Rofinol, the psychos that are out there using that as a fucking date rape drug. Guess what? Fluoride, I know, yeah. And just a little bit more fact just to mention. If you find yourself going into surgery, you may find that the anesthesia that they're using is also a product of one of the many fluoride that they use. When you start to look at some of these studies, and you do a little bit of fucking research, just a little bit even, it doesn't take very much logic to go, what the hell's going on here? You start to learn the effect of what fluoride has on your hypothyroid gland. And it doesn't matter what the level is. It could be higher or lower the level. And if your city lowers the level, they're not really doing you a favor at all, are they? I guess the number one thing that they discovered back in those days is that fluoride and the thyroid have synergistic effects. Okay, I keep trying to see us as a good society, and that this propaganda isn't to an extreme that they're not trying to kill us, but I fucking take it back, man. I think they're fucking trying to kill us all, man. I think that they're trying to fuck us with the fucking vaccines, with the Okay, go look up synergistic toxicity. Find out what that means, because that is what fluoride does when you add it to your system. Synergistic toxicity is synergistically toxic to your thyroid. It's accumulating in your thyroid. They're not regulating in a normal function, and it doesn't happen overnight. The children are affected, dumbed down, their bodies are affected, and over a period of time, it's reducing your longevity, my friends. It's taking away your expectancy of life, because of the toxicity eventually will build up and you will have symptoms that turn into other things, like cancers and diseases. So even by 1954, they're definitely guaranteed that the fluoride has a definite anti-thyroid effect. You can look up a court document case that happened in 1952. Reynolds Metals Corp versus Paul Martin hypothyroidism, which was proven and caused by the fluoride and documented. The fluoride caused his hypothyroidism. Benegiana and Fiorentina from Italy described the effects of fluoride on the thyroid function. You're gonna fucking believe this shit, man. They found They described that the effects of the fluoride on the thyroid function. They found that the further away from the toxic dose, the longer it takes for the fluoride to cause thyroid changes. This is in accord with a May 1950 who found that although it may take months, sometimes even a year, even low fluoride amounts would always be successful in lowering iodine levels. May urged the practitioner to be patient. Benegiano, Fiorentina, described the effects of the fluoride on the thyroid function. They found that the further away from this toxic dose, the longer it takes for the fluoride to cause the thyroid changes. In other words, this is also in accord with in May 1950, who found that although it might take months, sometimes even a year, even low fluoride amounts will always be successful in lowering iodine levels. My friends, I bet you if every one of us was tested right this fucking moment, we will find our iodine levels are out of whack. Up, down, I don't have a clue. But if you have fluorinated water, not shortly after, years down the road, you may find yourself with that fluoride issue that causes your thyroid gland to give you issues. And your thyroid gland is a numerous of symptoms that can be masked with so many different things, so many different diseases, sicknesses that are thought to be. And it's all because of fluoride in the water. Okay, in 1955, Corodi, Wegman, and Galetti and Held also verify a fluoride iodine antagonism, presuming that the fluoride ion pushes out the iodine in the thyroid gland. In other words, the negative positive charge, this ion, which is negative charge, pushes the iodine outwards. So your thyroid gland is lessened by iodine. It removes the iodine, so it's beneficial for hypothyroidism because you're already producing too much iodine. That would be my guess. And by doing this and taking the medication that they had taken and made through those years, it would lower that aspect by pushing the iodine molecule from your thyroid gland. But if you do not have an issue with your thyroid gland and you're drinking fluoride water, you will think it is your thyroid gland. It will be masked and you will think it's your thyroid gland, you will think it's other things, you will think it's diseases, sicknesses, illnesses. Your doctors will tell you it's all these different things, and in the end you will not realize that it is the fucking fluorinated water that they put into your system that is slowly irritating, toxically destroying us from within our minds and our bodies. The water that we drink. It means that the practitioners of the pharmacy, of the oil industry that creates most of our drugs and everything, they're all conglomerate, they're all interconnected. I don't know who's pulling the strings or who's pulling the fucking wires, but my God, people, there is a limit, there's a learned ability of common sense, very little intelligence required or needed to look at this and go, what the fuck? Come on! WTF, guys! W-fucking-TF! Come on! So apparently in 1959 there was another person who also again showed the reduced iodine levels in the pituitary gland under the influence of the fluoridosis. So your iodine levels are negated or affected through your, I would guess it sounds like it's your pituitary gland and your thyroid gland. They're both affected and need iodine and balance an iodine level. And fluoride fucks with that iodine level, my friends. Fucks with your pituitary gland, fucks with your thyroid gland, and fucks you up in your brain and in your body, and fuck, man, get your shit together and help me, my friends. Let's get this shit out of our water for our fucking families. Okay, so in 1960 they determined Gordanoff and Minder describes the results of an experiment with radioactive iodine, which shows that fluorides remove the iodine atom during the conversion process from a T4 and T3. So when their chemical change is going and happening, the effects are dose responsive, meaning the higher the fluoride intake, the lower the iodine measures. So yeah, I would have to definitely say that the fluoride fucks with your iodine measurements, my friends. There's no doubt in that aspect. It's showing without a doubt that it lowers. There's a common connection that the higher the fluoride, the lower our iodine levels. They need to fucking know this shit to go look. It's like a big piece of a puzzle, and you're laying the pieces out on the table, and you're finding that, hey, some of the fucking pieces are fitting. What's going on here? 1959, 1960. Fluoride compounds inhibit the thyroid hormone transport. So the hormones that are created by the thyroid gland, the transportation of it is fucked with fluoride and in the thyroid gland. So it inhibits the thyroid hormone transport and concentrate in the thyroid gland. Okay, here's another study. 1962 came out. It was STEWN. This gentleman's from Africa, and he reports that drinking water containing as little as 1 to 2 parts per million of fluoride can cause serious disturbances of general health and especially normal thyroid gland function in the normal process of calcium phosphate metabolism. My God, people. So there have been a couple of studies too that came out showing that fluoride, the symptoms, the fluoride poisoning mimics thyroid stimulating hormone disease. So if you have a dysfunctional thyroid, fluoride can be the cause that's functionally hiding or masking your symptoms. You think it's a thyroid, the doctor thinks it's a thyroid deficiency, but it's the bloody fluoride. Okay, my friends, here's another fucking study I'm going to throw out there. 1978, George Waldbott. He writes that in most cases of poisoning from fluorinated water in which he had the occasion to study the action of the thyroid gland, its function was low. He cites a case where a 33-year-old man who exhibited